Royale and Francois Hollande's relationship didn't work out, but another powerful couple seems to be doing just fine.
Hilary and Bill Clinton overcame the Lewinsky scandal. He finished his presidency with his wife still by his side. And now it's him who's playing a secondary role while she steps into the presidential race.
Talk more about the dynamics of the power couple. We're joined by Dr. Funke Bafor, clinical psychologist.
That's right.
Thank you very much for joining us.
You're very welcome.
The point is, I suppose, these are very ambitious people that get into these positions, and then they start competing. So that's where the tension comes from, am I right?
It depends. If relationships break down, then it is about competitiveness. Like you've stated earlier, Hilary and Bill Clinton have quite a successful relationship. They both have power at different times because they probably have an understanding where they want to reach in their lives. Whereas Royale, their relationship broke down. Obviously, there must have been problems in that relationship that were being covered or masked by the election.
As far as Hilary and Bill go, though, I mean, they need each other, don't they? They needed each other then, they need each other now. Together they're kind of an entity that work, but separately they perhaps wouldn't work, do you think?
Well, I think we can all have views about Hilary and Bill Clinton's relationship, but I think what we have to remember, they've been together for over 30 years. They have some strong foundation. Whether we like it or not, what's happened in the past, they are still together. They are still supporting each other in each of their desired roles. So in essence, I feel that the relationship does work.
But without knowing about the personal nature of the relationship, a lot of cynics would look on and say they're just doing it because they sort of struck some sort of pact. We can't assume that, I suppose.
Well, I mean, again, they are the cynics, but there's obviously something that they've got there, because the cracks always will be revealed when certain things happen. Things have happened to Bill and Hilary, but they've managed to stick together. And now we can see that Bill has taken the back seat and has allowed Hilary to do the things that she wants to do. And I think that's success in a relationship.
It must be very, very difficult when you've got, like, equal status partners, both of whom are sort of very, very powerful. There must be a lot of competition, and that must put a huge amount of strain on a relationship.
That's where I think we go wrong. I think that you can be a couple and be powerful. It's about power. It's not about oppressing or about competing. I think when we term it in a different way, then we tend to compete. But if you see yourself as being a powerful couple and you say, well, we have a shared goal. We don't have separate goals where we go separately. We have a shared goal that we're able to meet our own goals individually, but in a relationship.
Do you think it's possible for two highly successful, motivated people to be in a relationship together realistically? Because it's difficult, isn't it, if just one of them is this person and the other person has to sort of fit around their life, but you can't actually spend time together and you can't actually fit together like a couple and have a proper couple relationship, can you?
It depends how you define a proper couple relationship. I do believe two successful people can work together. It's only when they don't have an understanding of what each other's goals are, where you get the competitiveness, where you get the power imbalances. But if you have an understanding of each other and an appreciation of where you both want to reach, I feel that you can work out together.
That doesn't often seem to work well when you've got, like, the power behind the throne, as it were. I mean, you have sort of the Bushes, you have George, and then you have Laura very much in the background.
That's right.
As far as Margaret Thatcher was concerned, looking back a little bit,
right.
You had Dennis there in the background,
That's right.
playing a supporting role.
Yes, he was playing a supporting role, but it doesn't mean that he wasn't powerful in the relationship. The same way as the Bushes. Doesn't mean that, you know, the First Lady's not powerful in her relationship. It may look like the back road to us, but you don't know what goes on in the family home.
So we're focusing, we think, maybe too much on kind of the media profile
That's
that we
right.
have of everybody, and ignoring what actually goes on.
Right.
Well, backstage.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think it's important for us not to judge people on what the media portray, but rather on what they actually do.
Yeah, it's interesting, the Royale story, because people in France traditionally don't really talk about the personal lives of politicians, as was pointed out in Jim's report. But they are starting to do that now. They're becoming more and more interested. And of course, here in the UK, the tabloids
Yes.
are out to, you know, any sniff of information.
That's right.
Do you think that, well, it must add a lot more pressure to politicians in the UK than in France?
That's right. I think it does. And I think with the Royale and Hollande, this is going to probably be a big story, because people are thinking, well, was the relationship fragmented from the beginning? And probably it was, and probably it wasn't. But it will be a big story. Maybe France will become like the UK and, you know, get completely sort of interested in people's relationships.
Thank you very much, Dr. Funke Bafor.
You are very welcome.
Up next here on CNN Today, Boca Juniors are the new champions of South America.
Well, Roger